Video opens with a slow, sweeping shot of a rain-drenched city at night. Neon signs reflect off the wet asphalt. The camera glides over a solitary figure walking under an umbrella, their face obscured. The music is a low, melancholic synth track. Voiceover: there is a specific kind of paralysis that defines modern life. It's not the fear of failure. It's the fear of choosing the wrong way to succeed. You feel it when you look at your own life, the tangled web of ambitions, duties, and desires, and you see not a clear path, but 1,000 fractured possibilities, each one demanding a different version of you. This is the tyranny of the specialist. The part of you that's a professional, the part that's a lover, a friend, an artist, a cynic. Each one is an expert in its own small domain, and each one is shouting for control of the system. We'll call this the centrifugal self. The feeling that the core of you is being torn apart by the velocity of your own complexity. In this session, we will dismantle that machine. We're going to borrow a blueprint from a world of chrome and circuitry, a model for integrating the fractured pieces of yourself into a single, devastatingly effective whole. We are going to build your own Section 9. Visuals shift to a first-person perspective. A hand scrolls endlessly through a holographic newsfeed. The headlines are a blur of contradictory information, crises, and demands for attention. The audio is a cacophony of overlapping news reports, notifications, and distant sirens. Voiceover: you know this feeling intimately. It's there in the quiet hum of your screen late at night. You're trying to make a decision. Not a world-changing one, just a personal one. Which career to pursue. How to respond to a difficult email. Whether to commit to a relationship, or to walk away. And the data streams in. One part of you, the pragmatist, runs the numbers. It builds spreadsheets in your mind, calculating risk and reward, mapping out the safest, most logical path. It's your internal strategist, cold and efficient. Another part, the idealist, rebels. It whispers of passion, of purpose, of meaning beyond the bottom line. It shows you flashes of a life lived with heart, even if it's a life of struggle. Then comes the critic. The inner voice that archives every past failure. It plays back your mistakes on a loop, pointing out the flaws in both the pragmatist's logic and the idealist's dreams. It warns you that you are not good enough, not smart enough, not disciplined enough to pull off either plan. And so you remain frozen. Trapped in the crossfire of your own internal committee. Each member is an expert, and each one cancels the others out. You do nothing. Or, you make a choice from a place of exhaustion, not conviction, and you spend the rest of your days wondering about the roads not taken. Think about it. You're at a social gathering. Someone makes a challenging political statement. Your internal debater wants to engage, to dismantle their argument with logic. Your internal peacemaker wants to de-escalate, to find common ground and preserve the social harmony. Your internal cynic just wants to roll its eyes and order another drink. Who wins? Usually, it's whoever is most exhausted. The path of least resistance. This is the hidden cost of the centrifugal self. It's not just inaction. It's the slow, quiet erosion of your own sovereignty. You begin to mistrust your own judgment. You start to see yourself not as a coherent individual, but as a collection of warring impulses. The ghost in your machine isn't a unified consciousness. It's a fractured committee, locked in a perpetual stalemate. You lose the ability to act with intention. Your life ceases to be a deliberately composed piece of music and becomes, instead, just noise. The visuals become clean and focused. We see architectural blueprints of a futuristic building, overlaid with data streams. The camera slowly pulls back to reveal the iconic symbol of Public Security Section 9 from Ghost in the Shell. Voiceover: to solve a problem of overwhelming complexity, we need a model designed to master it. We find that model in the rain-slicked streets of Newport City. We find it in Public Security Section 9. Forget, for a moment, that they are a counter-cyber-terrorist unit. Look past the gunmetal and the fiber optics. Section 9 is not just a team, it is a philosophy of consciousness. It is a working model for how to organize a complex system, whether that system is a government agency, or the architecture of a single human mind. The genius of Section 9 is not that it's made of the best parts. It's how those parts are integrated. This philosophy, which we will call specialized integration, can be broken down into 4 core principles. This is the blueprint for rebuilding your own mind. Principle 1. The specialist mindset. Section 9 is comprised of hyper-specialists. Batu, the cyborg powerhouse, is the embodiment of direct, overwhelming force and unwavering loyalty. Togusa, the minimally augmented detective, represents intuition, humanity, and skepticism of the system. Ishikawa is the master of information warfare, a patient deep diver into the digital ocean. The Takakomas are childlike curiosity and networked intelligence. They are not interchangeable. They are unique, powerful, and often contradictory. In your own mind, these specialists already exist. You have a Batu, the part of you that is driven, forceful, and fiercely protective. You have a Togusa, the part that feels, that questions, that holds onto your humanity. You have an Ishikawa, the part that craves knowledge, that researches, that connects the dots. The mistake we make is in trying to force them all to be the same, or in letting one dominate the others. The goal is not to silence them, but to cultivate them. To recognize that each specialist has a function. Principle 2. The integrated command. A team of specialists would be chaos without a leader. In Section 9, that leader is Major Motoko Kusanagi. The major is not simply the boss. She is the central node, the integrator. Her genius lies in her profound understanding of her team. She knows precisely when a situation calls for Batu's strength, or Togusa's instinct, or Ishikawa's data. She does not send the tank to do the spy's work. In your mind, this integrated command is your core consciousness. Your observing self. It is the part of you that is not the anger, but notices the anger. It is not the anxiety, but feels the anxiety. Its job is to disidentify from the specialists and act as a conductor, bringing the right instrument to the forefront at the right moment. The major is the ghost that directs the shell. Principle 3. The shared objective. Section 9 is not a family. It's a unit bound by a single, unwavering purpose: to confront the most complex threats in their world, to dive into the cases no one else can solve. This shared objective is the gravitational center that holds these powerful, disparate personalities together. Every debate, every conflict, is ultimately resolved by one question: what best serves the mission? Without a clear objective, your internal specialists will work at cross purposes. Your pragmatist will try to build a fortress of security while your idealist tries to set sail for uncharted waters. They will tear you apart. A shared objective, a personal mission statement, is the ultimate filter. It transforms internal conflict into strategic debate. Principle 4. Dynamic reconfiguration. The world of Ghost in the Shell is one of constant flux. Technology, philosophy, and even the definition of humanity are always changing. Section 9 survives because it is built to adapt. The major's defining characteristic is her willingness to ghost hack her enemies, and more importantly, herself. She constantly questions her own nature, her own memories, her own ghost. She is willing to tear down her own operating system if it becomes obsolete. This is the principle of questioning your own code. It is the ability to look at your deepest held beliefs, your core assumptions, your emotional triggers, and ask, is this program still serving the mission? Or is it a ghost from a past I no longer inhabit? This is the highest, most difficult function of consciousness: the ability to consciously evolve. Think of your mind as an orchestra. The specialist mindset is knowing you have a string section, a brass section, a percussion section, each distinct and brilliant. The integrated command is the conductor, who sees the entire score and knows when to call upon the violins for their subtlety, or the trumpets for their power. The shared objective is the music itself, the transcendent piece you are all working together to create. And dynamic reconfiguration is the willingness of the conductor to rewrite a passage if it no longer serves the beauty of the whole. This is the model. Not a team of soldiers, but a state of mind. Unified, purposeful, and lethally effective in a world of noise. Visuals shift to a clean, minimalist interface. We see a person sitting in a quiet, rain-streaked room, holding a pen and a notebook. The steps appear on screen as text as the voiceover describes them. Voiceover: a blueprint is useless until you build. Philosophy is inert until it is lived. Here is how you begin the work of constructing your own Section 9. This is not a quick fix. It is a new operating system. Step 1. Assemble your dossiers. Identify your specialists. Tonight, or tomorrow morning, take 30 minutes of uninterrupted time. Open a notebook. At the top of the page, write, My internal Section 9. Now, conduct an intelligence gathering operation on yourself. Identify the primary specialists that operate within you. Give them names, not just the angry part, but archetypes. Maybe you have a Batu, the part of you that is loyal, blunt, and action-oriented. A Togusa, the skeptical, empathetic humanist. And Ishikawa, the patient information gatherer and analyst. A Pazu, the quiet, reliable professional. A Saito, the sniper, the part of you capable of intense, singular focus. For each one, write a short dossier. What are its strengths? What are its weaknesses and blind spots? When does it usually take command? The goal here is not to judge them, but to know them. To respect their function. You cannot direct a team you do not understand. Step 2. Establish command protocol. Activate your major. Your major, your integrated command, is the observer. The part of you that is aware of your thoughts and feelings without being consumed by them. You will train this observer through a simple, daily practice. Call it the tactical pause. Anytime you feel a strong emotion, anger, fear, excitement, doubt, before you act, pause for just 3 seconds. In that pause, your major comes online. Ask one question. Which specialist is at the console right now? If you're filled with road rage, the major simply notes, Batu is active. If you're hesitating to speak up in a meeting out of fear, Togusa's caution is dominant. This act of naming creates a space between stimulus and response. In that space, the major can make a conscious choice. You don't have to suppress Batu's anger, but the major can decide whether unleashing it serves the mission, or if another specialist is better suited for the task. This is the beginning of conscious action, rather than reflexive reaction. Step 3. Articulate the prime directive. Define your mission. Your internal team will fight forever without a shared objective. You must give them one. This is not a list of goals, like, get a promotion, or, buy a house. This is your fundamental why. Your prime directive. It should be a single, active, and unifying sentence. Spend a week on this. Write down many versions. It might be, my mission is to create order from chaos. Or, my mission is to understand and be understood. Or, my mission is to leave every person and system better than I found it. Write it down. Put it somewhere you will see it every day. This directive becomes the ultimate arbiter in your internal debates. When your specialists are in conflict, the major steps in and asks, which path best aligns with the prime directive? This transforms internal noise into a focused strategic meeting. Step 4. Schedule a weekly debrief. Practice dynamic reconfiguration. Your beliefs are not you. They are software. Some of it needs to be updated. Once a week, schedule a 15-minute debriefing with yourself. This is your chance to practice ghost hacking. Ask yourself 2 questions. First, where did my system fail this week? Where did an emotional reaction lead to a bad outcome? Where did an old assumption prove false? Identify the flawed code without judgment. Second, what is one core belief I hold that might be obsolete? This is a radical question. Maybe it's the belief that you're not a creative person. Maybe it's the belief that you must always be the peacemaker. Question it. Look for evidence to the contrary. This isn't about destroying yourself. It's about maintenance. It's about ensuring the ghost in your machine is running the most effective, up-to-date software for the world you actually live in, not the world you once inhabited. This is the work. It is slow. It is deliberate. But it is how you transform the centrifugal self into a coherent, integrated, and formidable force. It is how you become your own Section 9. Visuals show iconic, action-oriented scenes from Ghost in the Shell, but slowed down, treated almost like memories. We see the team working in perfect sync, anticipating each other's moves. The focus is on their non-verbal communication and trust. Voiceover. Why does this model work? We see the proof in every mission Section 9 undertakes. They succeed where monolithic, bureaucratic organizations fail precisely because of their structure. They are not a rigid hierarchy, they are a fluid, adaptive network. When they confront the puppet master, a being of pure information, a rigid response would have been shattered. But Section 9 could adapt. The Major, as the integrated command, could make the radical choice to merge with the target, an act of ultimate dynamic reconfiguration, because the mission to understand the threat superseded her own preservation. This isn't just science fiction. This model is reflected in the most effective systems in our own world. Look at the command structure of elite special forces units like the Navy SEALs or the SAS. They are built on the same principle: small teams of hyper-specialists, the breacher, the communications expert, the medic, the sniper, all operating with a degree of autonomy but bound by absolute trust in their leader and a crystal-clear understanding of the mission objective. Their mantra is, shoot, move, communicate. This is the language of an integrated system in action. Psychology has a name for this internal harmony: integration. Carl Jung spoke of integrating the shadow, the parts of ourselves we repress or deny. His entire therapeutic project was about bringing these disowned specialists back into the fold, to be understood and utilized by a conscious ego. An unintegrated shadow, Jung argued, will unconsciously sabotage your life. But an integrated one becomes a source of profound strength and creativity. It's bringing your own Batu, your aggression, your primality, out of the basement and giving him a constructive role on the team, directed by a wise commander. The logic is undeniable. A system with more specialized parts, properly integrated, can solve more complex problems. Your mind contains multitudes. The centrifugal self is the state where these multitudes are at war. Specialized integration is the state where these multitudes become a symphony. It is the difference between a riot and a revolution. One is chaos, the other is directed change. The visuals return to the serene, melancholic cityscape. The solitary figure from the beginning is now looking out over the vast network of lights from a high balcony. The rain has stopped, and the air is clear. Voice over the world will not get any simpler. The noise will only get louder. The demands on your consciousness will only increase. You cannot win by trying to be just one thing: a stoic, a hedonist, a pragmatist. That is a specialist trying to run the entire system. It will inevitably fail when it confronts a problem it was not designed to solve. The path forward is not simplification, but masterful integration. To build a consciousness that is as complex, fluid, and adaptive as the world it must navigate. So the question I leave you with is this. As you begin to map your own internal team, which specialist in your Section 9 has been in command for too long? And which one has been silenced, waiting in the wings, holding the key to your next mission? Share your thoughts in the comments below. This is a debriefing for all of us. If you are committed to navigating the complexities of our technological future with intention and clarity, subscribe to Digital Ghost. We are the cartographers for the territory ahead. And if this idea of rewriting your own mental code resonates with you, it is essential to understand the foundation upon which that code is built. To continue this session, explore our analysis of identity and change in our video, The Ship of Theseus. Are you the same person you were yesterday? The work is just beginning.